What's going on, everybody? It's Corey from the Breakevens. Welcome back to another episode. As always, I'm here joined with Jack.
Hello.
Alrighty, so we've got our team reviews done and dusted, so we're going to give you guys a special today. We're going to create our Breakevens team from scratch. So we're going to walk you through all our selections. You're going to hear us probably fight over why we don't have Jason Castagna in the side because Jack's big on him because he's playing midfield apparently. Um, and there's been a lot of denying Richmond players, but we'll get more onto that in a couple of minutes. First, let's go through the socials. So you can find us on Twitter at BreakEvensPod and on YouTube and Apple Podcast, The Breakevens. We're trying to hit 500 followers on Twitter by season's end. We're just over 300 now. And we're trying to get 50 subscribers on YouTube. We're at 40 at the moment, so we need 10 more. So
Geez, we're close.
we're getting there. So it takes 2 seconds to follow and subscribe. So
And
please,
it's free.
and it's free. That's it. Well done. All right. So what's going to happen today? We're going to go through our break evens team. So we're going to quickly talk about our structures and what we usually do when we're trying to create our sides, and then we'll just go each pick and go from there. And then at the end, we should have the team that's going to win the 50k. So, all right, so let's get into it. All right, so one thing I did forget to mention, and that is Jack and I both get a veto and a lock. So we can choose someone and say lock, which means that person cannot be removed from the side, and we each get a veto, which means we can take one person out that the other person has picked, and they cannot re-enter the team. So that's going to be fun. Um, all right, so Jack, I don't know about you, mate, but when I'm starting a team, I like to go rookies first, just to try and get that structure. Is that what you do, or
Um, so I'm a little different. I select the people that I have as my mainstays.
yep,
So for example, I'll pick a Stuart Oliver to start this year, and then I'll work through my rookies and then see what I have left to
yep,
fill out other primos and mid prices. So
yep,
I like to lock in those superstars as so they can get that number one pick over some Donny that's 130k that hasn't played the game yet.
yep. So I'm the opposite. I like to do my rookies first because then, I don't pick the ones I've got to that just ones that are going to play straight away. I just pick fillers, so like 123k, maybe a couple more expensive ones. So then, if I know I'm trying to fit in both um, a Clayton Oliver and a Took Miller, I know I can easily go down from a rookie to a lower price rookie than rather than go up. So that's the way I sort of work. And I think a lot of people do that as well. But there's no wrong way to start your team. This is how I do it, and Jack has his way, and there's nothing wrong with that. So,
Well, like I said, it's very similar, but I just pick like the Stewarts and the Olivers. So I've got two primos, and then I go through my rookies and build from that.
yeah, exactly. So, all right, now we have spoken before this about the structure we are looking for, especially for our rookies. So we're going for four rookies in our defense. Okay. Um, do you see any here that you like to start, Jack, or should we just go up a bit more?
At the 102k, there is that Montgomery that's been
Yep.
doing very well at Essendon.
Yep.
Um, if he plays, I don't know. I've just been hearing good things about him.
Yep. Especially they're looking to play a bit of a slower ball and a bit of switch, but I think there isn't a spot for him at the moment. So there's only really 102k. So we get into 117k, and then there are a few options. There's Jacob Ryan from Collingwood that could definitely get a game. We got Corey Wagner. Bailey McDonald today actually took the PISS, so keep an eye on him. There is one man, Jack, that I am looking at, which he's right here. Lockie Cowan.
I was just about to say he's my one at 117k.
Yeah, with Zach Williams going down, um, I think he comes straight in there. So we'll chuck him in. I don't think there's any 117k. This Harvey Gallagher guy, keep an eye on him. Apparently he's doing well. Now, this is where we run into a crossroads. We got Darcy Wilmot here. We need to think, do we go Wilmot or do we go McKenna or do we do both? For now, I think pass, but what's your thought, Jack?
Well, I I don't think McKenna's a pick. I
Okay.
think there's better rookies cheaper to save money,
Yep.
and we've got the Gimby from West Coast, which is around the same price.
Yep.
Who I reckon should be our number one rookie, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm not sure on Wilmot as well because the sub risk. He looks to be the guy if he plays. He's the sub risk.
Yep.
So I'm not too stoked on the two of them.
I do. I do think you have to start one of them because they are both good values. So, do
Well,
we?
I'm just looking at the 123k players here, and we have what's his face, Charlie Constable.
Yep. Do you want to put him in?
Um, I'm just going through some names. So you've obviously got Wilmot, then you got Weedle at 130k.
Yeah. I think Wilmot is a must start, so we'll chuck him in there. Looking at these 123Ks though, you're big on Tom Brown.
Well, I think he gets a start. Um, Last season he obviously just played VFL and he performed well and showed he could also play on a wing. Obviously he won't get that wing role as we got Rao Smith, Pickett, and McIntosh, but
Yep.
apparently Pickett's been playing inside mid, so
Okay.
he might. But I just think he plays round one. Scoring, it's hard to tell, and it's also Gibcus is apparently only out for 3 weeks. It's a massive risk for him to hold his spot
Yep.
in a Richmond side. I just think he plays round one.
Okay. Well, if we're thinking Gimby's a must start, I think we have to choose out of Wilmot and Constable.
I mean, I like Constable more
Done.
because I feel like he's safer.
Yep.
Gold Coast, he's killing it. I feel like his spot's there, where Wilmot, the spot's there for the taking.
Yep.
And I don't think Constable's a sub risk unless he gets injured, unlike Wilmot.
Yep. But Wilmot could be a good option as well. Now, there's
No,
this guy.
Wilmot is a very good option. He showed that he can get 70s in the finals.
Yeah.
It's just risk and reward.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Gimby's going to be our fourth rookie in defence, but I'm just going to say a couple here. Max McCallany, apparently, is a big chance for round one for Adelaide. As we said, Connor McKenna is also an option, but I think it just depends who gets that round one spot. But we got Gimby there, so that's our 4 rookies. So let's go to the midfield.
Now, with the midfield, there is one 102k player. I'm just not sure if you want to utilize him in the forward instead.
I think we start him in the midfield, but if we have to change, we can change. So I'm just waiting for it to load.
Yeah. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100% I do, because he's in my side. Right here, Blake Drury in.
Yes, must have. Um,
Now 117k, you got Richards, Davey, Wagner again. Your boy Jack Steely Green. This Virgil is a chance to play. I don't think he plays round one though. Look at the 123. I think this guy's a must-have. Matthew Johnson, Jack.
oh, 100%. We both raved about him. Big on him.
Connor Blakely, I think, is a miss. You got Josh Sin, but I think he's best used in the forward line.
Yeah, I was going to say either him or Drury have to be forward line. We can't have them both mid.
Thoughts on Oscar Baker?
My worry is, does he play?
I think he does.
Because my problem is he loves the inside mid, and the Bulldogs have too many inside mids to bloody count in your fingers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lockie Hunter going, he could have a role on a wing.
Yeah, so he's going to play wing. Basically today or was yesterday, he's in the round one side as it stands.
Yeah.
Do you want,
But then
do you want to pick him or do you want to wait?
I'd wait.
Okay.
But he's definitely someone we can go.
Okay. Now, how about this guy, Elijah Hewitt? Absolutely smashing it. Looks to be in round one. He's a bit pricier.
Yes, I've got him in my personal team. I reckon he's a very good pick. My thing is at 148k. Do we want to use him as a bench?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my only I guess you can say, is that it is a bit of dosh for a rookie, especially when you said like Oscar Baker at 123k.
Yeah. I think 148 is okay. I think it's when you get into that 160, 170, then that's where it's a bit of a waste. Will Phillips, do we have to speak about it or do we just chuck him in?
Well, I was about to say, I don't think we need to mention his name. I think he just goes in.
um, Now, Bytel, I don't think plays. Ollie Hollands could get a chance. Philippou, I think if you are going to select him, he has to be the forward line.
I also think he gets a forward role this year instead of
Yeah,
a midfield like everyone's expecting. So it's a very scary pick.
yeah. Now, just here, Toby McLean, he'll be most likely in our side in the forward line. Cam McKenzie's smashing it, but I think there's one obvious choice, Jack. Will
Yeah. Braden Cook, I like the look of him.
Will Ashcroft in? He's a must-have.
Yes,
Okay, we'll go to our ruck. We only need one rookie ruck, and that's going to be our loophole, which Jack,
Madden, my
you were
king.
saying earlier. Um, he's out for half the season, so there's no chance of playing. So put him in there. Ruck's easy. Forward line. I think we said we're going with 4 rookies here. 102 Ks. Apart from Drury, there's no one at the moment,
Um,
unless this
with there is
community.
one that's just been added, Bradkey. He's a possible round one player depending on Lynch's injury. He's
So,
not an option, but he's a possible round one play.
so we're starting with the Richmond talk early, are we?
Well, no. Because when I was looking at some Richmond stuff, I found out why he got the SSP over Quinton Narkle.
Okay.
Narkle played on Castagna in the midfield, and apparently he couldn't get near it. That's not
Okay.
me taking the piss. Apparently he just couldn't get near it on Castagna.
Yeah.
And Brad Key's a 21, 22-year-old key forward, so he's got the body, and with
Yeah.
Lynch currently with a foot injury, he is a sneaky chance to play round one.
Yep. And I think the same to this Anthony Committee.
Yeah,
Committee with Max King out, Hayes out, Tom Campbell under injury cloud. If they want to go with Rowan Marshall as the big ruck, he could come in at 102k. It just depends how long will he be there, but I don't think there's selections at the moment. 117k. You got Richardson Davey, who could definitely play. I think Davies more of a chance than Richards is, but I don't think there's selections at the moment. Looking down, as I said, Gallagher and Virgil are chances, but I'll probably wait and see. Go to 123k. You got Finn
Jack
McRae.
Williams, -2 average, and he's injured. There's nothing better.
You go in here. There's Fergus Green who will play. I don't think he's an option. Jacob Van Ruin is definitely an option, but I think there is better. And the one that's two after him is Charlie Comben. He's waited, he's waited, he's waited. Apparently, big big stuff coming this season. I don't know if you're confident picking him at the moment, Jack.
I don't think he plays.
I think he does play, and
Over who?
over the rest of the forward line.
Well, no, because you look at the key players that North have. You got Goldstein, who's ruck and floats forward. You got Coleman Jones, who at points played main ruck and key forward, and you got Christian Cherry, who did the same as Coleman Jones.
Yeah.
Round one, I don't think he plays over any three of them.
He's the best forward out of the four of them, though. That's the thing, and I'm hearing good things that Clarko likes him, but we won't pick him because it has to be a joint decision, or we have to use a lock on it, and I'm not doing that.
Well, I think we go that man,
Yeah,
Josh Sin. He's a must. Um, you see, I'm big on Van Ruin. I think you said Fergus Green was playing, didn't you?
yeah, he looks like to play. There's
Another
your
one
boy
here is
Jack
Tom
Williams.
Berry. I've been high on at 123k.
Yep, definitely one to look at. Um,
Does he play round one? The move from it was Brisbane, yeah, or was it? Was he? Yeah.
Adelaide, no,
No, the Adelaide Sam. It was
Brisbane. Yeah,
Brisbane, the younger one. Yeah. He moved there for more game time because
yeah,
he got minimal chances at Brisbane. So he's someone who could definitely play.
yeah.
That's
Now
it for 123.
I I'm looking here. I've gone to Jai Menzie, who could be a chance, 154k, but I'm not liking that pick. Josh Bruce is someone who I was big on early, but it looks like Jones has taken his spot in the team, um, which isn't looking great. We got Philippou here. Luke Pedler looks to be best 22. We've got Asava, Radigalia, Ben King, Toby
Apparently,
McLean.
Ben King's got
Yeah,
some injury thing around him. It's saying.
uh, yeah, because he's coming back from a thing, but they've come out and said he's basically good for round one at the moment. And if we're looking at any others realistically, unless we want Oscar Allen, but I think we can go a bit cheaper. So we've got
Yeah, realistically, there's Oscar Allen and Aaron Francis who could play.
yeah. So King, Radigalea, Philippou, Bruce. What are your thoughts on one of those?
On one of them,
Possibly, because I don't really see anyone else except for Cobden and Van Ruin or Fergus Green. But they're all big men, but then you have these other guys. So, what are you thinking?
I think that Davey is one. And what's your thought on putting a Drury forward and then getting that Baker?
Yep,
I think that's the best option because I like Van Roo and you don't. You like Comben, I don't. Instead of arguing, we can go something we both like.
yep. All right, we'll do that. I accidentally clicked on Drury's profile, so we're just gonna have to wait for that to load and then we'll
Mikey.
get out of it. All right, so we've done the swap there. We've put Baker in the midfield, Drury up forward. All right, Jack, we're probably gonna have to go one of those pricier players. So who are you thinking? Philippou, Bruce, and who was the other one? I don't remember.
Francis and Allen.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
I'm thinking probably Philippou. I think
what about Harry Sheasel? No one's talking about him.
no. Phillips, Drury, no. I think Philippou plays forward and then rotates in and pinch hits a little bit in the midfield. He'd be my option.
I mean, I like Philippou a lot.
All right, done. Sweet. So we've done our rookies. All right. Now what we're going to do now is one to two primos, or if we're the forward line, possibly three primos. So we're going to look at our primos. So defenders. We were and ahhing about, do we go one primo? Do we go two? But we were definitely set on
One man.
one definite man, and that is Tom Stewart, who's going in. Now, what we were thinking about was Brayshaw down to a day cost. So,
Is
Ridley,
Dacos the cheapest out of the lot? He is.
yeah. So he's the lowest. So I don't think there's anyone here that's worth, because Himmelberg's playing forward. So
There's a Houston
we
at 545.
got Ridley, we got Young, Redmond, Houston, or Brayshaw, realistically. My top three, in no order, would be Brayshaw, Ridley, Dacos.
And I know I said in no particular order because Nick Dacos, you've already put a stack on him winning the Brown line, so and you didn't want to make it obvious why picking him as the best defender.
Exactly. um, I
Um, I I love the Dacos pick, but I'm thinking we go a little more pod.
okay.
Because Dacos is here at 44%,
Yep.
Ridley at 2, Brayshaw at 7. So it's like, do we want to? I reckon going a Brayshaw or a Ridley could make us better than 44% of teams, which is already looking good.
Okay. Um,
Because Dacos, we saw last year, he can be a little too inaccurate with his
yep.
passing and stuff, and a little inconsistent with his scoring. So we're gonna expect the 70s and the 60s from Dacos by time to time. Where Ridley with this new thing, we're expecting 90 plus every time, and Brayshaw, we're expecting that 100
Yep.
consistently.
Out of the two, because we know, well, I I think we know what his role is going to be. I think Brayshaw with that midfield can definitely go 110,
Yeah,
where Ridley has shown for a short period he can go 120. Um, but we're not sure where he
exactly
fits.
how it's gonna work with Scott yet.
Yeah, so are you happy to go Brayshaw, or do you
I'm
want
happy with
to
Brayshaw, yeah.
veto or anything, or no, just chuck him in?
Brayshaw's my man.
He's
I'm not
in.
gonna veto him.
All right, midfield. What are you thinking here?
Well, I think Clary over Laird
I
as the
agree.
number one.
Go straight in.
You're probably gonna veto this, but I reckon again with the Brayshaw we go a pod choice in Mills over Miller and Bond. We could probably fit a Bond with him, but I think Mills with that 7%, and we've seen he can go over 200. I think it can easily enhance our team, and we saw last year with Miller he can be a little inconsistent.
My only thing is Callum Mills has come out and said that he's still going to be Mr. Fix It and he has no problem with that. So, yes, you have the high ceiling that's going to win you games, but then you have the low, which is going to lose you games. But if we're both in on Marcus Bontempelli, I'm happy to chuck him in for now.
I'm in with Bond, yes.
Yep, cool.
Like I
Um,
said, the Man Mountain Pinocchio.
Now, as you said, we have Miller Mills. I think Neil is a bit expensive. We can
We also have
McRae, who's
I was just about to
cheaper,
say Jackson McRae
or
and
Brayshaw,
Brayshaw, I'd say.
or we can go down to a Steele.
I think Steele is an option,
Yep.
but or would we be able to fit a Steele and like a Brayshaw in?
Um, well, we're gonna have to put one in and then see if we can get the other.
Well, if we're gonna just go one for now, I'd chuck Steele.
All right, I'm happy with the Steele pick.
Big fan of Jack Steele. Even though last year with his not like 1990s, I said never again. Nah, I cracked the shit. I had 604K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know he's gonna at least make money if he gets injured or has a slump.
Alrighty. Yeah, I definitely think that Steele is a great pick there. Now,
Steele's the better option.
yeah. Um, Now we have a decision to make. A breakout pick.
We're
We
looking at these 500K plays in a breakout pick.
Yep. So we got LDU, Noah Anderson, Chad Warner, Tom Green, Tom Mitchell. I think are the ones we're looking at. Mine, my pick would be Tom Green.
I like the Tom Green pick as well, but I like the percentages with Chad Warner. Um, Tom Green's in 19% to Warner's 7. And they averaged. Warner was slightly off by 0.3 points.
Yeah.
Now I do like. I'm not saying I don't like the Tom Green pick. All I'm saying is, do we want to go risky, even though it's not really as risky with a Warner?
I don't think we go risky on this pick. I think with the midfield and the potential to score more, I think Tom Green has potential to go bigger. Where
Yeah,
I I I think Warner can go 105 to 110, where I think Tom Green can go 110 plus.
yeah. Well, we've seen them both be able to drop 160s for fun.
Yeah. Um, I I think Noah Anderson. There's a line across him just because I think he's scoring potential.
Well, yeah, I think him and LDU. I just think with the price Green and Warner provide, there's more in it.
All right. So then
And I don't think LDU does much better than a Green.
okay.
Um,
So
because
then
we don't know how Clarko's gonna play it, but we've seen LDU play as a key forward,
yeah
which obviously hinders his scoring.
yeah
Where Tom Green, we know he's the number one guy.
yeah. So what are we? Are we just locking in Tom Green?
I think so, yeah.
Warner out, please.
Boo.
Okay, let's move to the rucks.
Well, we were certain on one man.
We were
Toby Nankervis. Chuck him in.
we were on Rowan Marshall. I think he's a must-have now. Where we differentiate is you want Grundy, I want Darcy Cameron.
Yes. And I think this is where I use my lock and chuck in Grundy. Golden
Are,
buzzer. Beep.
are you using your lock?
Beep.
Okay. I should have been quicker. I wanted to veto that.
I just think Cameron we can chuck in the forward line.
Okay. All right.
That's
So,
why I wanted Grundy so much.
all right. Fair. Fair. Okay. I think we agree on Dunkley.
Yeah.
I think we agree on Taranto.
Oh, of course we do. I'm not denying that.
And I'm going to lock Stephen Cornelio.
Fuck. I was gonna veto him.
Now, I think we have enough cash to go one more. Now, do you want to go a Cameron or do you want to go like a Rosie?
um, a Cameron? You're saying Jeremy Cameron's a better pick than Dylan Moore?
No, I'm saying Darcy Cameron.
Oh, Darcy Cameron. Okay, okay. I'm I'm happy with Darcy Cameron in the forward line. Yes, because we also have Madden there where we can on a buy round we can flip him up and emergency
Yep.
and um I think it's I feel like he fits better in the forward line over the ruck.
Okay.
That's just why I wanted Grundy more as a
Okay.
ruck option.
Um, I'm happy to start Cameron.
But I
Um,
do need to bring one name in if we scroll down a little bit. And that is, of course, Jack Siebel.
oh, we're not talking about mid prices yet. We're just strictly going primo.
Well, okay, because that's our last forward slot. That's why I was saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. Do you want to leave that open then?
I reckon we do.
Okay, let's look at some mid prices then. Let's go into our defense.
Now, as you know, one mid price excites me with news we heard today.
I'm vetoing Will Day.
I'm vetoing Elliot. Yo, no, I'm joking.
Nah, I'm not locking in that veto. But
Yeah, no. It's just an interesting outlook knowing that he's playing a pure mid.
yeah,
Now, his worry is he gets injured.
that is a big worry.
The good thing, he played 17 games last year, which is the most in the last couple of years. But the good thing is we know he's a good user with the ball. So in the midfield, getting more of it,
Yeah,
it's I think he's a better option. Like if we're just looking at Hawthorn, I think he's the best option to pick in
yeah,
general.
yep.
Mid price primo, I think he's the best option.
So I want to chuck a name here at you. Oh no, actually, I'm not going to chuck a name, but Christian Sale, I think we can go no.
Yeah, because his injury, they say he's okay, he's should be okay, and he's making progress. But can we trust that? Can we trust his body?
Yeah. So there's Will Day 362. We've got Ben Long there, who is playing off the halfback, who could definitely do a job.
And we've got Yo at 337.
Yeah, I think he's a good pick there. Are you happy to go, Yo?
I'm absolutely happy. I just wanted to mention uh, Will Day because that news of pure midfield, even if we can get him in there, you know what I mean, as the last option, it's bloody amazing.
Yeah. Now, there is a few others that are coming up.
Yes, we got Bose as number one.
We've got Nick Haynes, who could be a very sneaky pod. We've got Hunter Clark, who apparently is looking to play pure midfield. We have,
Josh Gibcus, who has no hamstring at the moment.
and then really the last two is Bose and Caulfield.
Bose and who?
Caulfield.
Caulfield.
If I had to choose one, I'd probably go Bose then Clark.
I am a big fan of Clark, but I wouldn't go him because we can't trust him to play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all these guys we can't trust to play because they've all been on big, coming
Well,
off
this is
big
true.
injuries and times off.
Um,
Um, the one thing Clark has over the others is it's never soft tissue.
yes, but the one thing everyone else has over Clark is it's not broken bones, broken jaws, broken noses, broken legs, broken brokens.
Yeah. Um,
We could go that Hunt, if you want to go extremely risky,
I don't think he scores as much as the others. That's my
I don't
only.
like Hunt. I don't like him as a bloke. I don't like him as a footballer, but he is there.
Um, I I personally think it's between Clark and Bose.
If you're saying it's between them two, I would straight ahead. Like, even though we don't have blocks, but I'd chuck in Jack Bowes.
All right, we'll go Jack Bose. All right, so that's our defense done. It's looking pretty good. So let's go to the midfield.
I'm vetoing Dom Shade.
Is that an actual veto?
Yes, it is.
Oh no. I I thought you were going to do that, to be honest.
I. It's not just because I want Hopper in. It's I don't trust Shade scoring.
Fair. I mean, look, we realistically we could put both in if we wanted to.
I mean, yes, we really could, but I just don't trust Dom Shade scoring. He
Fair.
like 1 week he can go, like, obviously last year he played one game, got to 67. Um, but we've seen in previous years one game, I think it was 2 years ago, everyone was saying get him in. He's a must-have mid-pricer. First game he scored a 95. Second game was around a 90 as well. Then the third game was like a 56.
Yeah.
Like, that's my worry with Dom Sheed.
All right. Well, let's look at mid prices then. I've put Hopper in because I think we're in agreement there.
Yes.
So go to the top side of the mid prices.
Whereabouts are we going with this? 490 odd?
No, I think Matheson down 446.
446. Okay.
Nick Martin, but I'm not sure about that.
I feel like if we were to go Martin, it'd have to be a forward.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You got Cunnington, who I think again would have to be a forward.
Your favorite player, Justin McInerney.
I just saw him and I just scrolled straight past him.
um,
Holmes could be a sneaky one, but again, I don't think so. You got Horn Francis there, who's people. I think it was Boak came out today and said we're gonna release him into the midfield.
there's
Dom
one I'm
Phillips,
looking at just here, and it's a
yeah,
man who started amazingly, and he's
James
just
Warble.
dropped ever since. Can we see James Warple getting back to those levels without a Tom Mitchell and Jager O'Meara stopping him?
I think he's been a tad inconsistent. He has the potential to score big, but also he has the potential to go missing.
Stink it up.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
like if we go down a little more, we got Windhager and Cooper Stevens right next to each other.
yeah, I was thinking Windhager for the forward line.
We've also got a man a bit lower that I was bragging about in Finn Callahan.
Yes, and we have Finn Callahan. Um, Now, what I'm interested to see is if we put Windhager into the forward line, um,
We could go a Chad Warner, I believe.
or like a Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, I think like Chad Warner's the highest.
Um, yeah, I'm just looking through.
Tyler Sonte's one to look at. I'm not saying he's in contention to pick, but he's going to play round one and he's going to play midfield.
Yeah,
And he averaged 65.3 in 6 games playing off half forward and a little bit of midfield.
yeah,
That just shows he has the potential to at least be scoring 80 to 90 a game.
yeah. Um, I I think we put Windhager in the forward line for now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
As much as I'd love to have Rosie, I'm Hugo and Windhager because I think he's got money there to make. All right, so we've got 502k there, so a little bit less than what we would have liked.
Yeah, we have Jared Lyons down.
Let me have a look.
Do we go? Here we go. Do we go a Barry Newcomb or Drew?
We could go Cam Strong again.
I mean, there is a man at 454k who I think will find his way into everyone's teams after six to 10 weeks.
No conscience, I'm going.
All right, it's way too risky to start him, but like I've been telling you, I can see him average 100 to 105 and be an upgrade in the forward line. And I just wanted to say Trent Cotchin's name.
Now, my thing that's annoyed me is you vetoed Sheed, where he could fit in perfectly here.
Yes, but we know we've got players like Sam Berry and John Newcomb who are looking very good and looking to be mainstays where Sheed, I don't think he has that 150 cash gen that everyone's expecting from him.
Alright, I've got two names for you: Jai Cully and Sam Flanders, or Finn Callahan.
Well, I like my boy Finn Callahan. You know that. I feel like I saw Flanders has been training half forward, so I think that rubs his name out.
He's been playing half forward, but then he's been going midfield and been linking up. So that's what it said is he's been linking up with the midfield. He's been starting forward, but then he's been pushing up.
So like the Dustin Martin role.
Yeah. So I think that's our three options. I think we got Flanders, Callahan, and who was the other one I said? Jai Cully.
Yeah,
Which I'd probably take Cully out, and I prefer the other two.
I'd take Callahan over the three of them.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, you could veto Flanders because you still have your veto. But if we choose one and they want to upgrade somewhere, I could always put a name out there. So, what
Well,
are
that's
you
what I'm
thinking?
looking at.
I
You see, you were a little bitch and you locked in Cornelio.
yep,
I was a little bitch and locked in Grundy.
yep,
I was a little bitch and vetoed Sheed.
yep.
It's really, really, you've got all the power here.
Oh, actually, yeah, I have a veto, don't I?
Yeah, you do. So you could go, nah, fuck you, veto Callahan, Flanders in, if you wanted to. But are you that soft?
Well, if we're not going to decide on one, then I'm going to veto and go the guy that I like.
I just think Callahan's got more money to make. Flanders, the Dustin Martin role has shown that it doesn't help with Supercoach. He might get a few extra possessions, but if he's not going to be in the CBAs, he's losing points to Callahan, who's going to be in every CBA.
I've put him in, Jet.
Fuck, I'm good with words.
Now, we have 258k. This is where I think we take away a Philippou here. We have 425k to work with.
425k for a
That means
forward.
we're 40k short of Cameron. We've got Cunnington.
You've got Ben Long there.
We've got Ben Long. We have Zeeble.
You got Ben Hobbs, who hobbled off the pitch the other day.
Yep. We got
See
5.
what I did there? Yes.
Archie Perkins.
I've been saying a lot about Archie Perkins, but let's not forget we've got Jake Castagna. Pure midfield. And yes, he did his hammy, but I heard from the man himself that it should only be a week or two and he's back.
Yeah.
But I still don't think Jason Castagna's a genuine pick.
We have Flanders again.
Yes. I think
Then we
our
go to Oscar Allen, basically.
I think our best choice is Zabel because we know his role.
But the thing we don't know is if he's on kickouts. Because if he's not on kickouts, then he's not going to score anywhere near.
I mean, from reports and from you saying it doesn't look like Aaron Hall's playing round one.
Yes, but that's again not like confirmed.
Well, 2 years ago it was Zabel and Hall taking all the kickouts.
Yeah, but new coach, new system. Um,
But they're North Melbourne's two best kicks.
I like Ben Long.
I've got nothing against Ben Long. I just think Zabel is someone who can stay F6. I don't think Ben Long is.
I see. I don't think Zeeble finishes F6 at all. And I don't really think there's anyone else we can really go.
The only other real one who I don't think is the Hornet, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, I'm not touching him.
And I'd prefer either go Long or Zabel. I'm happy with either pick. I just think Zabel's someone who can stay in the side where Long's more of an upgrade.
Well,
But I'm happy with
I'm
either.
vetoing Zeeble, so we're going Ben Long.
Well, like I said, I'm happy with either.
Now we have 71k here, so realistically we can go a Brayshaw up to someone if we wanted to.
Yes.
But what I like is we can keep those 71k, and the rookies that don't get up for round one, then we can change around there.
Yeah.
So I'll
Or if
just
there's any
save.
injuries, there's money there to play with.
Yeah. So I'm going to save the team there. All right. So this is the team that we have picked. This is the team that's going to win the 50k this year. All
Of
right.
course it is.
So I'm just gonna just do a few subs here because of the way we did it. Um, but I'm pretty happy with most of these selections. What about you, Jack? What are your thoughts on it at the
I'm
moment?
I like most of them. I'm still not personally sold on Cornelio, but you locked him in, so you must be certain that he's going to be a top two forward this year. So
Yep.
I'm gonna back you in.
Thank you.
Um, but I still feel like there's better than Cornelio. I don't think he can go back to back. That's just my thinking.
Okay.
Obviously, he can obviously do it, and I'm like being locked in him, or he could bust, and I can be like, "You bloody dickhead." But you can do the same with me and Grundy if he goes down round one. Like, yeah, look at you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just I guess gut feelings. You got two minds. The veto and lock made it a lot more fun
Yep.
because we're both like, "Ooh, what are we gonna do?" Like, I had plans to be a smart ass and like chuck Aiden Bonner in, and you'd be like vetoed and like chuck another dingle in the midfield, and then like I'll lock a Castagna and like ruin the team. Um, where I'm like, look, we're here for last, but we want to make a genuine team.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're
We
all about helping people, create a team and give our thoughts on certain players. So
well, that's like when we brought up a couple of players each in different positions where we don't think they're starters, but like super coach starters, but they could play round one, or players who have roles where they can excel and be upgrade options.
yeah.
Um, so there was a lot of talk with that as well, not just strictly I'm going him, he's in, and then it's just a boring old video.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We we wanted to have that discussion aspect because that's where the content is. We can easily just sit here and, as you said, just name off players, but we want that content. So, um, all right, just waiting for these changes to be made. Was looking at the team and Um, we could go like along back down to Philippou, then we can go a Steele up to one of the bigger boys, or even a Brayshaw up or a Grundy up, whatever we want there. But all right, that's our team. If it's going to stay in the one bloody spot, right there. All right, so the team, I'm going to read it out for those who aren't watching on YouTube, but we have Tom Stewart, Angus Brayshaw, Elliot Yeo, Jack Bowes, Ruben Gimby, Josh Weddle, with Constable and Cowan on the bench. Our midfield, we've got Oliver, Bond, Steele, Tom Green, Jacob Hopper, Finn Callahan, Ashcroft, and Phillips, with Elijah Hewitt, Matt Johnson, Oscar Baker on the bench. Our rucks, we've got Grundy and Marshall, with Madden as the bench option there. And our forwards are Dunkley, Cornelio, Taranto, Ben Long, Marcus Windhager, and Toby McLean, with Sin and Drury on the bench. Any final thoughts, Jack, before we sign off?
I like it.
So
I
do I.
really do. It's good that we were able to agree on so many players, and um we're able to chuck a couple of risky picks that can enhance our team,
Yep,
as I am a man who loves the risk.
you do.
Instead of, like I said, practically at the start with Dacos and Brayshaw, Brayshaw, that's 7%, who averaged more, but we know can be a lot more consistent. It's going to enhance, even though a couple of weeks Nick Dacos will score 130 to a Brayshaw 115. It's just more of a consistent level.
Yeah. Now, this is our team for now. When it's definitely going to change before round one. So,
Like every Supercoach team.
yep. And the locks and vetoes now out of the door. So anyone can be traded now. And that was just for the purpose of the video, just to spice it up a little bit, which I think it did. But okay, that's going to do us for today. Hopefully you enjoyed us talking crap for the last hour or so.
We
The
enjoyed it. Well, I did
we,
at
we
least.
definitely did. Don't forget, we have the unlimited league group for the break even. So the code is 432856. We got 88 people in there last time I checked. We're trying to get to 104 round one. So again, the code is 432856. And for those who are in our
We have 87.
87, there you go. And for those who are in our draft league, a few changes have been made. We've gone from a 3-4-1-3-4 format to a 5-7-1-5 and then 4 on the bench format. And that means that the pick timer has gone up to 60 seconds rather than 30, because a lot more research will have to go into it. So just a few changes there. All right, so don't forget, you can hit us up on Twitter at BreakEvensPod. Again, we're trying to hit 500 followers on there, so make sure you give us a follow. As Jack said at the start, it takes 2 seconds, and it's free. And over on YouTube, the Break Evens, like and subscribe all of our stuff over there. Again, 2 seconds,